Hello students, welcome to my channel and presentation on hospitality marketing. Today we are going to discuss personal selling, one of the very crucial, important and most preferred promotion tool used by marketers. So let's begin. Personal selling is one way of approaching the prospect by a salesperson, by a sales representative, or through telephone. This is the most preferred tool used by promotion as discussed earlier for a simple reason that here we are meeting the person on one-to-one basis. So we understand him, we try to convince him, and ultimately we try to sell. As per Philip Kotler, personal selling involves oral presentation in a conversation with one or more prospective purchaser for the purpose of marketing sales. This is a very important definition which has been created by Kotler. Personal selling is preferred by many, especially for the products which requires demonstration, which requires more understanding of the operations and functions, and which is easy to showcase. So there are certain features which we are going to talk about of personal selling which helps in making it the most preferred selling tool. It helps to maintain lasting relation between the firm and its consumer because there is a personal touch. Each person is skilled and creative enough as a salesperson to convert the need of a consumer into a want, and this skill helps in selling. Since we are dealing with a person in on one-to-one basis, and hence it is more personalized as compared to advertisement or sales promotion or any other promotion tool. It is more convincing because you will be able to then and there answer all the queries if a customer may have or a prospect may have, and after showing the product actually it is very easy to convince or persuade people to buy the product. A salesperson not only satisfies the consumers by selling products but also provides knowledge and assistance to satisfy the need of a consumer. Let's look at the advantages of personal selling. The first and foremost advantages include it provides a detailed explanation or demonstration of the product. A person, a prospect or a customer can actually see the product, handle the product, touch the product, and hence it is more tangible way of approaching a customer. A message can be varied to fit the needs of each prospective customer. Each customer looks for something unique in a product. They may look for appearance, they may look for the durability, they may look for the color or similar things. A salesman who is a skilled person has to understand what exactly the need of the customer is, and hence he can create a message which will fit the needs of each prospective customer. It can be directed to specific qualified prospects. After doing a lot of homework, we can select a few who has similar needs and wants, and a salesperson can approach them considering these needs and try to convert them into wants and ultimately sale. Cost can be controlled by adjusting sales force size. You can have a larger sales force if you are working in an extended environment or geographical location. Similarly, you can cut down on your sales force size if you feel that you are going overboard with the cost or your costs are increasing drastically. So you can cut down on the sales force as and when you need it. Most effective method to obtain sales and gain satisfied customer, because through personal selling you are not only selling but also maintaining relationship, a long lasting one, with the prospects and converting the prospect into your customer in the long term. There are several steps involved in selling process. We are going to look at each one in detail. The first stage is prospecting, then comes pre-approaching, then comes approaching and attention. Once you approach the consumer or customer or a prospect, you do the presentation or demonstration of the product. Handling queries, objections, complaints, problems during the presentation or post-presentation is also next step of the selling process. Once the objections are settled, then you can close the sales. And lastly, when we close the sales, you have to do the follow-up. So these are the basic steps of selling process. Let's look at each one in detail. What do we do in prospecting? We have huge population and hence it's impossible to approach each and everyone on one-to-one basis. So depending on your product, you need to identify people who may be interested, who may be willing and has the ability to buy the product, and probably this list becomes your prospect. Preparing a list of prospects helps you in planning the entire selling process, and wastage can be avoided of time, money, efforts. So in prospecting, you identify people who will be your potential customer. So you qualify people and this is called as qualifying leads. Once you get the leads, you can qualify leads based on advertising, publicity, direct marketing or telemarketing, by just cold calling, approaching people randomly, internet websites where people are surfing for a particular information, any referrals you get that some people may be interested in buying your product through networking, trade shows and conventions, and past and present company records. Through these you will be getting leads of people who are interested in the product, and then you qualify the leads and the contacts which you have generated, and this can be done by recognizing the need of the people, understanding their buying power or the capacity, and receptive and accessibility. Now they should be accessible also when you are selecting them as your prospect. So this is how we qualify lead for our sales process. Next comes pre-approach. Before you approach your prospects or potential customer, you need to do certain homework about him, understanding their needs, problems, buying motives, preferences, and personal characteristics of the person. This pre-approach is effective for making the ground for your next step, that is approaching. So it's like doing your homework for a person whom you are going to approach. Once you are ready with it, then you approach the person in the next step. This is nothing but a sales interview on one-to-one basis. They say it's like a seed with which sales tree grows up. This stage is very important and vital, because this is where you are generating your first impression, not only of you but of the company as well, and this is going to benefit you in the long run. The step is based on ideas formula, attention, interest, desire, action and satisfaction. The salesperson adopts all other selling points related to product and Next step, he will go to presentation or demonstration of the product. This stage helps in understanding the product very well. He may also be informed of special features, merits and demerits of the product. He will try to understand customers' need, want, and what are the things a customer looks for in a product, and therefore a salesperson can easily demonstrate a product to the prospect. The prospect must be convinced and an interest in processing the product must be aroused in him. You and not I should be the attitude which should be followed by the salesperson. Once you finish with the demonstration, there will be a stage where the customer would like to negotiate with you either for price, for other product features, etc. He may require some additional benefits and features from the product. He may have certain queries, certain objections on whatever you have said till now. And this is a stage where a salesperson can make him happy by answering to all his queries and ultimately satisfying him. Once the customer is satisfied, then only it will result in a sale. So closing the sale aims at closing the deal and purchase of the product ultimately. Here you can negotiate for the price as shown in the picture. You sit across the table and negotiate with the person and close the sale as per your terms and condition. Several details such as product choice of color, periodicity of delivery, quantity, terms, etc. are discussed and closed. And at the climax stage, the prospect places the order with the salesman, and that's the most happy moment for the salesperson. The process does not end here. Once we sell the product, we are not reaching to the climax, but we have to maintain good relations with our prospects and customers, and hence follow-up is must of whatever sales has been done so far. So probably calling the person, calling your customer or prospect once sale is done helps in not only getting a feedback from them but also helps in maintaining good rapport and relationship with them. The salesperson keeps contact with the buyer to know the problems, if any, he faces, and also to understand his future needs. So, once we do the follow-up, we are not only closing the complete process but also creating ground for the next purchase which may happen if you or your customer is satisfied and happy with you. So this is how personal selling is done for a product. For this, I have referred to Google Images, Smart Learning Ways, and a book, Principles of Marketing by Philip Kotler, Gary Armstrong. This has been helpful for making this presentation. And with this, we come to an end of the presentation. Thank you everyone for attending this presentation. Hope this was informative enough, and I'll be continuing my presentations on different topics on marketing as well as on accommodation in my upcoming slides and presentation. Till then, have a very nice day. See you in my next presentation. Thank you.